No, thank you, Fernando. That was excellent. So let's take some questions from the audience. Please use the chat feature next to the live stream to send any questions that you happen to have. Fernando, I've got a question. So why don't I start it off?
Sure.
What obstacles might financial services organizations face in achieving exceptional DEX?
I think it's investing in. It's like without visibility, without understanding where the issues are, you can't resolve them. Like you cannot, if you don't know what to fix it, you're not going to fix it. I think a lot of it is just that. Like, how do I know? Just make sure you get the right platform that collects data, end user specific data from different areas, from the application, the network, just to kind of measure what's normal, not normal, and then try to kind of react according to that, right? So what are the areas that you're not going to fix everything overnight, but like what are the things that kind of making a lot of the noise? What applications are important to me? Pick your top 10 applications. Let's go instrument those. By the way, this is when I'm talking about instrumenting, not touching the app. This is all from the platform perspective. It's just kind of measuring that end user interaction with the application without touching the code. Understanding that, and then kind of make improvements based on what you're seeing, and kind of focus on prioritizing the areas that will kind of bring the most value to that particular company.
Interesting. And DEX is a journey, Fernando. So can you talk to me a little bit about, like what does that journey mean for organizations? And I think more importantly, like for those individuals who know, like, hey, we're on this DEX journey, how to financial services organizations accelerate that journey and deliver really exceptional DEX?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think again, we have this concept of a kind of the DX journey curve, where you kind of start with the low hanging fruit, the easy stuff, hardware issues, battery issues, kind of resolve a lot of the things that you can identify pretty quickly. Then as you can move up that curve, it's more around kind of getting to the business side of things with the applications. So what are the applications that are important? I talked about one earlier that's kind of a common one, which is the call center applications. Every company, every bank, every financial services has one. To me, it's a very important to kind of understand kind of the experience there and make sure that you're delivering enhancements, and sometimes it could be training. And we're able to measure kind of any business activity. What's a business activity? Well, within an application, you can measure that by, for example, when you're retrieving a customer record, how long does that take? It should be 2 seconds. Is that normal, or is it, that's normal? Okay, then we'll baseline that. If it's taking 60 seconds, the problem, right? You don't have the agent sit there and wait for a record to be retrieved with a customer on the line. And that we can measure any other business activity. So I think it's about kind of understanding kind of what your goals are. That circle chart that I show, that kind of showed all the different areas in red, green, and yellow, kind of important to kind of define what's important for you there, and then kind of go and measure that, and kind of react to that, and make sure you put the right strategy in place to kind of fix those things, get noise out, and get value to your company.
And Fernando, we did have one question come in from the audience. Anjal, please, thanks so much for sending a question in. Anjal's asking, what are the basic analytics for digital platform which should be considered? Are there any standard tools to capture these analytics from a digital platform?
Yeah, I mean, so I think there's our platform as an agent. There's others in the same area that have the same similar thing. It's an agent that collects information. An agent could be on the end user side, depending what it is. If you want, also there's some technology that could go in your own data center to provide things like network performance management, for example. But it's mostly it's an agent that collects all this data. That data again goes to our SaaS environment, where it gets stored and then gets analyzed, and then based on what's important to you, then we can kind of provide you with the dashboarding, actionable insights, whatever makes sense for your particular use case. And there are many use cases, right? I just listed a few in my earlier page, but like in a day, it's, to me, what's more important as well, which I haven't mentioned yet, is you're collecting your own data. Some of these, as you know this better than anybody else, Joe, a lot of these LLM models are like train themselves on data that's kind of, okay, it's out there, it's kind of common domain, but the advantage of having, kind of your own data to kind of analyze and make sense of it is important as well. It's real stuff. It's now, this is actually happening in our environment today. So basically being able to kind of analyze that data and then react on that, like being able to collect it, it's important.
Thanks so much, Fernando. Excellent session. Everybody, please be sure to check out Riverbed Technologies in the resource room and download those assets.